when age teaches us the true meaning of love and connection. Have you ever looked back at yourself in your younger years and thought, wow, I really thought that was what mattered? It's incredible how age has a way of teaching us what youth often can't understand, especially when it comes to love and intimacy. As we grow older, love stops being about appearances or ego. It becomes about care, meaning, presence, about truly being there for someone. And today, I want to invite you into a conversation. Most people shy away from a topic that's often joked about, misunderstood, or left in the shadows. You may have seen the title and thought, what does it mean when we say, this is the kind of man 90% of women truly want? That phrase might surprise you, maybe even make you curious. But stay with me, because this isn't about measurements, comparisons, or competing with anyone else. It's about something deeper, about what women really value as they grow, how their emotional needs evolve, how their hearts and bodies change, and what truly fulfills them. And the truth might just set you free. When we're young, how media shapes what we think matters. When we're young, it's almost impossible to escape the influence of media and the people around us. Movies, TV shows, even conversations with friends, they all send the same message. Size matters. And for many young women, this idea takes root before they ever have the experience to question it. Think about it. Romantic comedies glorify the perfect body. Adult films exaggerate everything. Even locker room talk can make it sound like intimacy is all about appearance, performance, and being big enough to impress. But here's the thing, most of those beliefs don't come from real-life intimacy. They come from stories we're told, not from what actually fulfills someone's heart or body. Young women, especially, often mistake confidence for size, presence for performance, and kindness for weakness. I remember one woman in her 20s saying, I used to think it was all about what he looked like, until I met someone who actually listened to me. That moment changed everything for her. So here's a question to reflect on. What beliefs about intimacy did you inherit from others, and are they really true for you? When we grow, how experience redefines what we value. Over time, life has a way of teaching us what really matters. As women grow through relationships, marriage, heartbreak, motherhood, they begin to see intimacy through a completely different lens. Many women in their 30s, 40s, and beyond will tell you what they thought they wanted when they were young wasn't what actually fulfilled them. Why? Because real life shows them something movies never do. That the biggest body in the room doesn't necessarily create the biggest connection. I once spoke to a woman who said, I thought I wanted the guy everyone else wanted, the one who looked perfect. But the man who made me feel safest, the one who held me like I mattered, that's the one I'll never forget. That's the shift from fantasy to feeling, from image to intimacy. As women experience more of life, they stop looking for someone who just looks good and start longing for someone who feels good to be with emotionally, spiritually, and yes, physically too. So ask yourself, are you chasing what impresses or what truly connects? How her body changes and why presence matters more than pressure. One of the most overlooked truths about intimacy is how a woman's body evolves over time and how those changes shape what she needs from you. Hormones shift dramatically throughout a woman's life. Pregnancy, childbirth, and especially menopause bring profound changes, not just physically, but emotionally too. Areas that once felt sensitive can become less so. Movements that once felt exciting may even become uncomfortable or painful. This is why many women, as they grow older, no longer want intensity or aggression. They don't want someone trying to impress them with force or speed. What they crave instead is presence, a softer, slower connection that respects where their body and heart are right now. One woman told me, "In my 20s, I thought fast and hard was exciting. But now, nothing feels better than someone who actually notices me, who takes his time." So here's what to remember. A woman's body is not static. It's a living, changing story. And the man who can read that story with patience and care is the one she'll never forget. Why foreplay and aftercare matter more than you think. Let's talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention, yet it's one of the most important parts of intimacy for women, especially as they grow older. Many people think of foreplay as just a few minutes before the main event. But for most women, true foreplay begins long before you even touch her. It's in the kind words, the long hugs, the laughter shared over dinner. It's the emotional connection that softens her body and opens her heart. And just as important is what happens afterward, what we call aftercare. For many mature women, those quiet moments after intimacy mean everything. Being held, talked to, simply sitting in silence together, it tells her she was respected, cherished, and safe. One woman shared, "When he just rolls over and falls asleep, I feel invisible. But when he stays close and holds me, I feel loved." Foreplay and aftercare aren't optional extras. They're how you show her she matters before, during, and after. So ask yourself, are you just showing up for the act or for her? The stories women tell and the truth most men overlook. Sometimes the most powerful lessons don't come from books or advice. They come from listening to real women tell their stories. Over the years, I've spoken with women in their 30s, 40s, even 60s, and their words reveal what they truly value in a man. One woman in her early 30s admitted, "I used to believe bigger meant better, but the best intimacy I've ever had came from someone who was tender, patient, and made me feel completely seen." Another woman, 48, divorced after 20 years, said, "Movies taught me to care about size, but now I know I crave someone who listens to my body, who makes me feel safe enough to let go." And a woman in her 60s told me something unforgettable. "At this age, I'm not interested in being impressed. I want to be embraced. I want a man who makes love with his heart, not just his body." These aren't just exceptions, they reflect a larger truth that many men never hear. What she wants isn't about impressing her, it's about connecting with her. So ask yourself, are you trying to stand out or to truly show up? The power of patience, reading her like a language. Here's something few men realize. Patience is one of the most attractive and rare qualities you can bring to intimacy. Too often, men think they need to impress her by doing more, moving faster, showing strength. But for many women, especially as they grow older, what truly captivates them is the opposite, a man who slows down enough to actually feel what she feels. Patience isn't just waiting, it's paying attention. It's noticing how her body responds, how her breathing changes, how her eyes soften when she feels understood. It's reading her like a language, one she's been waiting her whole life for someone to learn. One woman once told me, "The best man I was ever with didn't rush. He didn't try to perform. He made me feel like I had all the time in the world." So here's the question. When you're with her, are you trying to do something to her, or are you willing to be there with her? Because a patient man is unforgettable not for what he takes, but for how he makes her feel. True confidence, why it has nothing to do with size. Here's the secret no one tells you. The kind of confidence that draws a woman in has nothing to do with your body, your size, or how you compare to someone else. Real confidence, the kind that makes her feel safe, seen, and desired, comes from being at peace with who you are. It's in the way you walk into a room without trying to dominate it. It's in the way you meet her eyes and smile like you already know you belong there. Women can feel it instantly. A man who's truly confident doesn't need to prove anything. He doesn't rush. He doesn't boast. He just shows up fully calm, steady, present. One woman told me, "I don't care about muscles or looks anymore. Give me a man who feels good in his own skin. That's who I trust with mine." So here's my question for you. Are you chasing validation? Or are you showing her the quiet, grounded strength of a man who already knows his worth? Because in the end, confidence isn't about what you have, it's about who you are. The kind of man she'll never forget. So now you know what most women truly want, especially as they grow, as they live, as they feel, has nothing to do with the myths you were told when you were young. It's not about being bigger, faster, or stronger. It's about being present, about knowing when to slow down, when to listen, when to simply let her know you matter to me. Women remember the man who makes them feel safe enough to let go. The one who reads their body like a story instead of rushing to the ending. The one who carries himself with quiet confidence, not arrogance. You don't need to compete with youth. You don't need to measure yourself against anyone else. What she craves is not perfection, it's realness. So here's my invitation to you. Let go of the old scripts. Show up fully with patience, with rhythm, with respect. Love her with your presence, not just your body. Because when you do, you won't just satisfy her. You'll become unforgettable. And isn't that what you really want?